Welcome to the Evening Gamer. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Guy. Welcome, everybody.
We're back to weekly.
We are back to weekly.
Doing two in a row.
Look at that. What are the chances?
How good. And today's a rant episode.
Today we are ranting. And oddly enough, I think we've both come with a topic that's pretty similar, possibly.
Well, Game of the Year?
No, I'm going to rant about the new Gladiator movie. And I thought you were going to rant to me about Assassin's Creed.
Well, yeah, in terms of updates, I know that we did that episode, I don't even know now, 2 months probably.
Of game adaptations?
Game adaptations.
Yes.
Now, I've since seen Assassin's Creed.
Wow.
And...
So you ignored watching Doom, which was your homework, and you've watched Assassin's
Creed. I haven't done
Creed.
my homework yet.
Okay, fantastic.
But you know what? I saw Assassin's Creed, then I was like... Because on Netflix, easy.
It was there, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender, Jeremy Irons.
Well, firstly, the cast.
All-star cast.
Is really good.
Really good.
But I don't know, because we spoke about this today. I said, hey, I have an update. I've actually watched one of those adaptations today. And you went on straight onto IMDb and said 5.6 out of 10.
I've written it down in my notes, yeah.
And I don't agree with that rating.
Okay.
I simply don't agree with that rating.
Give us your movie review for Assassin's Creed that came out. Who the fuck knows when?
What they did well was actually the action part.
Okay.
And doing kind of encapsulating the main theme of those games, which is the Apple of Eden, decision making, autonomy, remove evil from the world, Templars v Assassins. That was good.
Okay.
Now, if you were someone that had never played the games and you went and watched that movie, you would give it more than 5 out of 10. Ooh. If you were someone that had played the games and watched the movie, you would give it a 5 out of 10, which kind of leads me to the question, like, well, okay, are you judging a movie within the criteria of a movie?
Yeah.
Or are you judging this movie on how well it mirrors your experience with the game? Because they did abandon some pretty key things, especially from the characters in Assassin's Creed are what make those games, especially the early guys, Ezio, Altair. Yeah. Like, they're fucking
good
amazing. Yeah, and like when you think back to all of these boss characters we have now, the Doom guy, the Master Chief from Halo, back then, it was harder to make complete characters. Like, way back when Assassin's Creed 1 came out, I'll tell you, and there was none of that in this. They changed the characters, they changed his storyline, but the lore I thought was pretty good. Okay. So you detach it completely from the game. You've got a double barrel reply coming here. But if you detach it completely from the game, actually pretty entertaining. Got the story, got the lore of it across pretty well, but just changed some of those details that maybe made it such a good gaming experience.
So, as an action film, were you interested? It kept you riveted throughout? Was there twists? Was there turns? Intrigue?
I was only scrolling on my phone for maybe 30% of the movie.
Okay, all right.
Because it wasn't like when I go to relax before bedtime, I have a movie I'm going to watch, or I have a movie that I'm just going to kind of watch.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sort of, yeah. I know the background thing to have on whilst you scroll your phone.
Yeah, I was kind of watching it being like, for how much this movie was shit on, I was not expecting to walk into as good a production as they did put on.
Yeah.
I think it would have benefited from being a trilogy, because the lore is quite deep in Assassin's Creed, and it probably needs that Dune run-up, like that first movie that's 2.5 hours. It really gets into it. Okay. But it also wouldn't have made it to a second movie if they did that. So I see the troubles that they had and what they were boxed into, but I thought it was probably better than a 5 or 6, so I wouldn't give it a high 7s. Okay. But it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I feel like I'm really trying to talk it up and justify it here, but it wasn't that bad.
I remember when it came out, everyone panned it, and then I think I watched it when it got released on DVD or whatever it was, and I watched 10 minutes and just couldn't bear myself to commit the rest of the time to see it through. And you know my rule, it's got to be above a 7.9 on IMDb to make me watch it.
Which is crazy, because IMDb has one of the most harsh rating systems ever.
Yeah. But anything above a 7.9, you can bank it's going to be worth the watch. There's sometimes exceptions to the rule, very rarely though. Most of the time, anything beneath the 7.9 is a do not touch, do not waste your time. And I'll go watch Assassin's Creed now, and I'll come back and we can have a deeper discussion about it. Yeah. And you have to watch Doom.
Okay, I will.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, we talked about it. That was your homework. You got to do it. But okay, so
I don't know if I can do it with him.
I didn't watch Assassin's Creed through, so I can't go toe to toe with you and disagree on.
That's fair.
And this is an old movie as well, so
turning it off after 10 minutes is problematic. That's not a good sign, though. But today, We're
Game of the
talking
year.
Game of the Year.
This is, yes, after the preamble of our cinema.
And you want to have a
the
laugh.
last few days.
You want to have a laugh straight away?
Yeah.
Senua's Saga Hellblade is there for the best narrative.
Fuck off.
It's 100%. I'm looking at it right now.
All I looked at was the Game of the Year nominees. I didn't go too deep into the best narration and game direction, these other ones.
Let's stay on Game of the Year and just first up, the nominees are Astrobot, Balatro, Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow
DLC,
of the Erdtree,
yeah.
Final Fantasy, The Rebirth, and
Metaphor Refortasio.
Yeah, not familiar.
So
Apologies for anyone that
I
likes
did
that
look
game.
up Balatro and the Metaphor one just because they didn't really cross my sort of pathway.
This is a rant, and I have two things that I want
Yeah.
to say, or two things I want to put to you to discuss.
I think one of them we're going to agree on real quick.
The first one is how okay. I'm passionate about this, so I'm just gonna take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Astrobot.
Yeah.
What platform does it belong to?
I think it's PS.
Exclusively.
Exclusive, yeah.
Get it the out of there. How can you justify a game being on a single console and discounting 66% of gamers? How can you put that in the nominee? 66% of gamers haven't even had the chance to play this, and you have the audacity to put it up for Game of the Year? Like, that to me is crazy. If you are a developer or a publisher and you choose to cut a deal with one of these measuring companies like Sony and say, we are going to do it in exclusive, you forfeit your right to be Game of the Year because you are not making it accessible for everyone.
I hear what you're
Go
saying.
yourself.
I hear what you're saying. One thing, I don't know if you've read this in the news, but Sony is trying to buy...
I'm dizzy from that.
Hold on,
This actually made me fucking
wait
angry.
for this. This will pop you off even further. Sony is looking to purchase the company that owns the company that did Elden Ring. So, like, they're trying to take over that side of the you know, whatever it's called. What's it called? The From Software company.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Like,
Exclusives can't be Game of the Year.
This has obviously been, you know, a conversation we've had before, and like with the Game of the Year award, separate to exclusivity deals, because like that's one consideration. The other one, and this one's been in the media a fair bit at the moment, is the DLC and the remakes, you know, because you got Final Fantasy Rebirth, which is a redo, and then Elden Ring, which is a DLC. And it's like those have both made it in, and they recently released a thing saying, yes, remakes and DLCs we're going to consider in it, which for me, I feel like should be its own category.
That's another, it's another
they should be removed out of consideration.
Yeah.
And then, you know, sure, the debate on, you know, those kind of things. Like, I was kind of looking through the list, and we can largely agree. I don't think this year there was a lot of knocking out of the parks being in the conversation. So they might be scraping the barrel a little bit. And Balatro, I looked into, and it's like a roguelike card game, which kind of looks like a lot of fun. I'm half considering getting me to go. And then Metaphor is like a JRPG, one of these like Japanese sort of ones. I've never played too much time into those kind of Japanese role-playing games.
Yeah.
But, you know, largely it looks like Game of the Year, you know, and this is obviously we're starting to do this pod, so we're spending a lot more time researching the behind the scenes, how these things go. And we referenced the Game of the Year a lot of it won that award, so we should worth playing it.
Caps off the year as well. Like, how was it? Well, like, what is it? Did I play any of them? Did I really enjoy them?
It's really clear that what they do it off is, you know, the basically the reviews and the technicalities of it, of saying, you know, these were arguably the best games by definition of what is a good game.
Yeah.
You know, over the course of it, they kind of ignore what platform was it on. And also, like, you know, you'd kind of think, if I was going through it, I was like, okay, Black Myth, yes, I'd probably leave it in there for this year. Helldivers, I'd probably put in there, of one that kind of left a mark and was quite innovative. Space Marine 2, just because of the sheer scale of it.
Yeah, these deserve to be up there. I actually think that this is a pretty shit list, to be honest.
I agree. And like, I mean, but that being said, I've only played
just coming back
one of
to
them, half of it. No, yeah, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree I put on for all of 2 hours.
I don't know how you haven't played that
Myth,
game.
I did
That's
70%.
crazy to me. It's the Shadow of the Erdtree. I actually want DLCs to be to be able to go for Game of the Year, because the alternative motivates From Software to be like, all right, well, we'll just release it as a new game and charge $100 for it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, From Software ain't releasing it because they want to be Game of the Year. Like, they're not thinking about that. They're just thinking about the sales numbers.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, and like, I think I'd argue to go, look, Shadow of the Erd Tree is probably an exception to the rule, because
it was
you could release that game in isolation,
a
and put it up against other ones.
Completely new map, completely new storyline. Like, really, yes, okay, it is DLC. I mean, it's downloadable content. That's all DLC means.
Yeah.
But it was more of its own standalone game than it was an add-on.
So I feel like it's a bit of an exception to the rule.
The only thing that was add-on part of it was that Mikola was still part of it, and you were able to use your character that you'd used in the first. That's really the only two things that carried over. And the Erd Tree, of course, that fucking thing always causing problems.
Very true, very true.
But as a gamer, do you think that this list of games represents you or this year?
Whoa.
Can I get your opinions on the exclusive not being able to run? Like,
I've got no problem with it.
I think that, like, that is just...
That's
fucking
no
crazy. Like, even as a gamer, let's say they opened it up to games, be like, you can all vote.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I can't even vote for Astrobot because I wasn't allowed to play it.
So, the way in which they decide who the nominees are is, I think it's like over 150 different gaming reviewing outlets all make their selections, and then the ones with the most votes end up with the nominees.
So really, the whole thing's like just rigged.
No, I think they actually probably run it fairer maybe than an Academy Award and an Oscar.
Emmys.
No, I don't know. I mean, like, I haven't spent enough time looking into it. All I know is, who the winners are, and we can only look at the nominees.
Give it to Astrobot. I fucking dare you.
Well, apparently Astrobot's really good.
I know it's probably a fantastic game.
Well, you've got a PC now. One day it might end up on your PC.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
That's a problematic statement. Game of the Year might be something that I can't even play. On the two fucking consoles that I have, Guy, I can't even play this. I'm sorry. When I saw it as I feel like Sony's like the guy that's like, hey, like, employee of the month. This is Sony at employee of the month. Hey, everyone vote for who employee of the month should be. And Sony has 10 votes and just fucking votes for itself 10 times. That's all they're doing, man. They're just in front of a mirror the whole time, and I'm so fucking sick of seeing it. You.
Can I
your platform, your Game of the Year nomination does not deserve to be there.
Let's rewind time a little bit back to when we were.
I know.
Let me just pose something to you.
Every year
let's rewind time
I'm
back to like when we were in year 9 or year 10 or whatever, and you decided you're going to go with Xbox.
Yeah.
And let's say an alternate universe, you end up going with Sony. You end up like PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5. You go through the journey of it, and one day you get a PC. Mm-hmm. And PCs are Microsoft.
Okay.
So you yourself have filtered your way into only Microsoft games and have never opened the door to possibly the other side of the coin, which is Sony. Mm-hmm. So like, I would argue to go, now that you got a PC, sell your Xbox and get a PS.
Firstly, I am not contributing to this.
Well, then you've got both sides of the coin.
Money. The other thing I'll say is I'm yet to run into a game that is available on Xbox that isn't available on Steam, and I run into it on PS all the fucking time.
Yeah, because that's you've put yourself into that world. So let me say this then.
Microsoft's more fair with it.
Well, let me say this. So Sony, you've just played Ghost of Tsushima, whatever, and you like that game. You really enjoyed it. Okay. And that's a Sony game.
Yeah.
And then we look at God of War, Uncharted, Last of Us.
Uncharted games sucked, I reckon.
Uncharted is really good.
Sure.
So Sony is the ones creating the games that you probably enjoy the most. So they're probably, for me, the ones I'm more inclined to give my money to, because they're making the top echelon of games currently, and Microsoft is going this route of the arcadey, like, up and coming starter games, and then getting the sort of the both console ones and putting them on Sony platforms as well. So by going with Sony, you kind of actually, with your Microsoft PC, will then get full coverage and get to play the best games.
I'm not getting a third console.
Well, if you sell your Series 1, then, you could consider it.
You want me to sell my Xbox for PS?
You've got a PC now. It's a redundant piece of machinery.
I don't think I could live with myself if I sold my Xbox, which has brought me so much joy to this day with its inclusivity and its Game Pass, and give that money to fucking Sony. I don't think I could live with myself.
Well, I mean, it's just...
I'm not doing it, guy.
It's merely an outlet of, an a portal.
If that gets Game of the Year, I just think that this whole thing
I actually think Black Myth will probably get it.
I actually think Wukong will as well. And update on that. So annoyed with it, and our rating was spot on, but I'm weirdly addicted to it at the same time.
That was kind of my feeling as well.
I've gone back to it.
Yeah, I've left it on my PS because I'm considering going back to it.
Because, I actually, like we spoke about it, the combat is really nice and really refreshing.
It does play well, yeah.
Whilst it kind of dropped the ball in some categories, like just the smoothness of the combat and the mechanics, it's bringing me back.
Finishing Baldur's Gate, I've then went on a bit of a journey of trying to find what to play next. And we obviously in the last one talked about doing the Ghost of Tsushima DLC, which I was really sad to find out I couldn't carry over my character that I'd completed previously because... Sony has unfortunately put behind a paywall.
Have they now? Oh, wow. Well, me, guy. This is what I'm talking about, man.
Really gave you a layup there for that one. Which was really annoying that I couldn't carry over the characters. So I've had to start again, and you're not able to get to the DLC until you finish Act 1. So I'm having to replay the entirety of Act 1 to get the option to go and do the DLC, which... I'm really enjoying. And it's funny, I'm playing this game. I know I finished it. Like, I know I have. I've played it all the way through and got the final story.
Yeah.
Ask me what it's about. Ask me how it ends. I have no memory. And I'm like playing it again going, I know all the controls. My muscle memory is there. I'm killing people left, right and center. I know the skill sets. I know the facial imaging of the various characters in it. No idea what the story is.
Yeah.
Like I've completely, in my mind, lost the idea of what it's about.
Games can be forgettable, I think. Because you think of a game goes for a long time. Like imagine... watching a movie for 60 hours. Let's just use that as the average playthrough of any RPG, 60 hours. I think that would probably be in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Imagine watching a movie for 60 hours and trying to remember all of it.
Well, yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
No. I mean,
the thing about Ghost of Tsushima is there's 7 different little storylines all attached to their own lore, their own families,
the clans,
samurais and clans and things like that. So there's a lot going on at the same time.
It's a great game though. Like I'm enjoying re-experiencing.
You should see some of the screenshots I've taken of that game.
I mean,
especially with
it's honestly, it's like I've found myself the last couple of days playing it in the night, all the lights off in the apartment. It's just like really calming, where you're just kind of riding through these hills and the music playing and the graphics are just amazing.
Yeah, and yeah, sorry, go on.
Well, then, and then you come across a bunch of Mongols and you rip their heads off. And
it gives you autonomy.
So satisfying.
That's what I like about it as well. It gives you autonomy. It's like, do you want to stand off here? Do you want to do this stealth?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're the ghost, mate. You choose. But also, it's been refreshing. As much as I loved Elden Ring, it's been refreshing also to go to a parry-based combat system in Ghost of Tsushima. I actually really enjoy that.
I like parrying,
I enjoy the challenge of timing
it,
and I really enjoyed the result of getting it right. It's satisfying.
It is so satisfying.
It's really satisfying.
It is. It's funny playing it again because back when I first played it, I remember being not great at the parrying windows and doing the triangle move where you the standoff,
and they faint
so good.
Twice.
No, it's so good. But now replaying it, fucking killing it, doing so well.
And it's also, I think we spoke about this of the. The ASMR of gaming?
Yeah.
Like the experience that you have of all the senses. Like Ghost of Tsushima brings that in so well. Like the sound, how when you get a big kill, it slows it all down. How you have an emote where you can clean your samurai sword off and stuff like that. Like it's those types of things that really those little 1%ers that carry something over or make a difference
where
between.
He does his clap when he bows to the fox statues.
Yeah, it's little things like that.
So nice.
I still remember the best thing that really got me into gaming, especially in the FPS world, was in Modern Warfare 2. When you'd quickscope, you'd get a one-shot kill achievement every single time you did a one-shot kill. And just that hit marker and that fucking badge coming up on the screen was just so good. And I think it's underrated, how much of a difference that can make to a gaming experience. Take pokies in Australia, for example. The just the epitome of really bad gambling. People play them because of the lights, the colours, the noises. Yeah. They're addicting. It's the same with gaming. If you do it well, it makes all the difference.
We used to chat about this when we were growing up around like the pokies, and you and your brother didn't mind a good slap now and again.
Don't mind a good slap.
And I never got into it. And I remember the reason why
I'm not a fucking gambling addict, but
no one said you were.
I feel like saying have a good slap is like so synonymous with being a fucking big gambler.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, you're not in there on a Monday morning by yourself playing
a pineapple here or there. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I'm glad you felt you justify that.
Well, there's
anyway,
a lot of unknown
back to what
listeners.
I was saying. The reason why I don't think I ever got into it was I remember looking at the graphics and being like, my PS2 is more entertaining than this. There was no story. You'd just be sitting there. And then I remember asking, going the more chilies or what's Fido's fucking dog getting more points in this thing? And I was like, I don't know. It's not for me, And then obviously knowing that, your chances of winning are so fucking slim and all the rest of it. I was like,
it's just when you were younger and you'd have 2 beers and you'd be like, all right, fucking, why not?
Yeah,
decision making just goes,
the rubber arm of everybody.
Down.
It is what it is.
Anyway.
So what's some of these categories that you've got up on the screen here?
Best narrative, firstly, what would your vote for Game of the Year be? And it's been a pretty empty year, to be honest with you.
It's a tough one because,
sorry to cut you off there, but with things being DLC, I'm surprised that No Man's Sky isn't in there. No Man's Sky has had 6 exhibitions this year.
Yeah, true, actually.
Which are actually all at least 20 to 30 hours of gameplay.
I think, maybe they couldn't land on a single one of them. I don't know. I'm not sure. But
or maybe it just doesn't have a wide enough player base.
I look back at this year and go, how many games did I play that got released at the point of this year? And not many of them did, because I feel like this year a lot of it I spent playing backlog games and kind of finishing them off.
Yeah.
And I think at some point I do want to do Space Marine 2. I'm still yet to give that one a good crack. I remember playing the first one back in the day, enjoying it. Helldivers I didn't spend too much time in because I'm not sort of a big fan of the multiplayer live service kind of thing.
Helldivers said, hey, put time into this. Make this the only game you're playing right now.
A little bit,
yeah. Not really how we game anymore.
No, I think we are sort of looking for the story thing.
I was surprised to not see Dragon's Dogma.
Yes, I was surprised to not see that. Because it's actually a game that
I obviously developed a soft spot for. And I actually kind of miss it right now.
I went back and replayed and tried to get back into it because I remember doing the Sphinx and a couple of these quests, and I was feeling like I was on the precipice of kind of the game opening up a lot more. Gave it another 3 hours, and I remember I came on the pod and I was just like, I'm just running forever,
and just carrying too much.
Yeah, it was really taxing.
And talking about 1%ers, those are 1%ers that go the other way. Why have that?
Yeah. The difference of sort of being in the carriage and then you get stopped and there's an ogre and the ogre's fighting and you're like, okay, cool, again. A little bit of excitement, but then it's every time. And it's so slow, no fast travel. Whereas Ghost of Tsushima, it's done it so well. I'm not fast traveling just for the enjoyment of going through the fucking countryside and killing some Mongolians. No offense, Mongolians. But you know what I mean?
They shouldn't have invaded if they didn't want the smoke. You don't walk into someone's backyard, set it on fire, and expect to be left alone.
That opening sequence. There's how well even a game or storytelling can make you dislike a character straight away.
Yeah.
Where that guy comes out, they send down their warrior, and he goes, "Send out your best." This guy comes out, and he throws a mug of liquid on him, and then lights him on fire and kills him. And you go, "No honor, you bastard."
Yes.
And immediately you go, I don't like you. I fucking
true.
don't like you. That's scum. Whereas Gladiator 2, these two fucking emperors come out and they're like, fight to the death. And you're like,
shut
up. What? I don't like you because of that?
Also, I think the beginning of Ghost of Tsushima as well was so good because as someone... the information that we've been fed in the West of the samurais were unstoppable warriors. No one could beat them, no one could best them. And the opening sequence of that game is
all of them
fucking
dying.
all of them getting bested. And it sets this precedent of you're actually not the strongest.
Yeah.
You do have a bit of a journey to go on here.
You do.
And you're right. And so that villain is just perfect. And
It's
you get your
fantastic,
standoff with him early on and it just doesn't work
I know.
out.
And then you get pied.
It's it just reminds me of the opening to Sekiro. You will be the most powerful here, but you're not right now. figure it out.
I keep eyeing up Rise of Ronin. You know, it was another game that came out this year that I didn't play, but I feel like I'm a bit behind, I think. You know, there's a number of games I've put on the list that I want to get through in the next little bit.
And like, could this list be more inclusive? Because let's not forget that a new COD came out.
Which the campaign was really good. I was pretty surprised that wasn't on the list.
And like, as a base game, it does what it does well. I don't think there should be a COD every year. But I get it. Different developers and different publishers take on the 1 year it's Activision, the next it's someone else.
Or whatever,
I think even Ubisoft has been involved in one or two.
Oh, jeez.
I think they might have been over the decades. I think they may have been, even if it was in the graphic design.
But it is interesting that so there was a couple of games that just came out that people were really raving about. So Shadow of Chernobyl was a game people were raving about that we had on our list. The sequel, that one's just come out. Apparently, it is got issues all over it.
But also, if you're a game that comes out from now to the end of the year, are you represented in 2025?
No, I don't think so.
That's so weird.
I know. I think they fall in maybe to next year, but there's also Indiana Jones, which is a lot of people are raving about that and thinking that will be a big release. So there's a couple ones just to drop just in the next little bit before we get to the Christmas break.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll be included, obviously, they're not in the nominees.
I will say though that I think Outer Wilds was nominated for Game of the Year, which is way back when 2016, 2017, whenever it dropped. I can't remember, but whilst this isn't the most inclusive list, like I would have thought Astrobot would have been an indie game. Like that doesn't sound mainstream to me. So I don't know. Like it seems to represent a vast or more of a variety of different genres and different takes on games.
I just no matter who the winner is, I think every gamer is going to look back on this year and just be like, it wasn't great.
I thought Final Fantasy was overhyped.
I mean, a lot of people raved really highly about it. It's, again, another one of those ones that I haven't really spent too much time in playing.
Such a long history of games.
What was that?
Final Fantasy's just always been around. It reminds me of Doom.
Yeah.
Like it goes way, way, way back.
It really does. What was that? Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. There's also a Dragon Ball Z game that dropped.
Yeah, there was that too, with fighting game. I think it's in the category for fighting games. But again, didn't quite clear Game of the Year.
Back to the question, what you got your money on?
Well,
what would you have liked? What would represent your Game of the Year, you reckon?
I think it is a really tough year for it. To be honest, I probably would give it to Helldivers. And as I said, I didn't spend too much time on it. The reason why I'm giving it to that, Shadow of the Erdtree, as I said, is a DLC. I don't feel it should be in there. Black Myth would be a very close second, but I feel is another From Software light, similar thing, different coat of paint, but we all know that the mechanisms now. Whereas Helldivers was new and different and something that I hadn't seen before, because Helldivers 1 was top down and then they went to third person. And they had these when you're talking about No Man's Sky, and I know that color palette very different to this Helldivers 1. Helldivers is a really stormtroopers bleak,
it's blood and gore.
Yeah, it's nasty. And you're running around and just flopping on the ground, and you've got meteor strikes coming in, and the sheer chaos of it, and seeing an orbital bombardment coming in a game like that, it harkens back to the days of Halo where, the Halo rings fire and you're sort of on the ground seeing it pop off. And the spectacle of it's unlike anything else. And that's why I think Helldivers for me would be the pick. It's unique.
No, I like it. Different. I like it. And it probably deserves it. I would say, and this might surprise you, I would say 40K. I would say Warhammer. Because whilst it wasn't the game for me, as a gamer, I still recognise that it played really well. It stuck to its roots really well. The multiplayer, it had multiple ways to enjoy it. The campaign, multiplayer, a few other things. And it was kind of unique and was true to itself. I know that sounds really cliche, but as a gamer that didn't even enjoy it that much, I can see that it was well polished and it did what it does well. And that's what I would like to be known. And it's not even here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I think it's such a perfect example of give the fans what they want.
Yeah.
And it's like anybody who likes Warhammer 40K, in that game, you create your own dude from his own chapter, and you can then, do the kind of character you want to do. Do you want it a Warhammer, a this, a jetpack, a that, and a razor sword or whatever they call it, chainsaw sword, the bolter. You get so many options of, sort of tailoring the character you're looking for. That's what the audience would have wanted. and probably the feedback from the first one.
And in all honesty, the storyline is bang on there. The lore is set. You learn a lot about it.
Yeah,
like
nice.
his character arc, like your character arc.
Yeah.
So it just kind of encapsulates. It's something I'd definitely like to review once I've played more of it, because I'm happy to play more of it. It's not my thing for reasons that we've already spoken about.
You,
but
I
can still recognize a good game when I see one.
Well, I think you can do the campaign co-op and maybe even with 3. And now that Ollie's finished BG3, I'm going to get it very soon. He's playing it. So once we finish Ghost of Tsushima, maybe that's our next one to knock off.
I'd love that, because I've been missing the party ups lately. I feel just this year in gaming, with Apex falling off and really no huge labels really coming into it, the old party ups just been dead this year.
We haven't done much. We haven't spent much time gaming together.
Yeah, 40K, I'd be all about that.
Nice. All right.
Well, I don't know how we do it.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's coming up to 40 minutes.
Yeah, we always say like a quick little rant episode.
That was basically one topic.
I know. Jeez.
Love it. Any questions from a hat that have come to your mind lately, or anything you want to ask?
I did probably want to just say to the audience.
I suppose we did just do what your Game of the Year nomination, but that's pretty much out of the hat.
Is like, what because I never replay games. Like it's a firm rule for me that I won't play a game again. And
like a new game +1 if it has the capability, or just completely
like, so when I finish, I'm done. Like Elden Ring, done. Not playing again. Obviously DLC new, so I would play that, but I need to spend more time on it. But going back and replaying a whole game through, I never do that. Like it's a cardinal sin for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I've already experienced it. Even though for some reason I've forgotten Ghost of Tsushima. But I want to know, like, what game did you feel was so good that you wanted to go back to? Because the only 2 that I can think of that I've done that with is probably sort of StarCraft, Mass Effect, then Ghost of Tsushima now because I'm experiencing it again, and then that one. Oh God, I always forget the name of it. It was a PS exclusive. I got Kyle to play it. I think, were you playing it?
Not Control.
That one that was kind of like that one. God.
It's got the chick in it.
Yeah, it does have the chick in it.
It starts with R. Revival.
Yeah, fuck. Let's finish the episode on a cliffhanger of what the fuck is that game?
How have we forgotten that? Returnal.
God,
we always get there.
Well done.
We always get there.
All right.
Just works
But
better
they're the ones
notes.
I would replay. So what game would you replay? Would you happily replay that is worth the time to go on around again?
I got a few here. The first, I replayed Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Zelda, easy. I would also replay Tears of the Kingdom, easy. Does it have to be this year or just in general?
Just in general, ever. Like
the other one that I would love to play again would be Outer Wilds. But you need amnesia to fucking play that game, because it's a solution that you figure out, and if you know the solution, you can finish the story on the first one run through. Like the point of that game is the repetition of that day and figuring out the clues. You can't forget that in your head.
I just had a light bulb, which this won't work for you, but it may work for me.
Go on.
I'm going to start playing games blind drunk. And that way, I won't remember it, and then I'll play it again sober if it's really good.
The problem with getting blind drunk is you often get sidetracked.
Yeah. You have a great time.
I don't think anything productive is done by anyone. No. You know what's funny, though? The amount of times, like, I go to watch something on Netflix, and I go, I've seen that.
Yeah.
But I can't remember it. And I'm actually, having been sober now for so long and not really drinking that much, I'm starting to realize how many movies I watched, obviously shit-faced, and just not remembered any of it.
Fair. I mean, it's a nice problem to have. You get to experience it again.
Yeah. But no, they would be my answers. And the other one is Elden Ring. And I think as a caveat to that is, look, if a game is exactly the same, I probably wouldn't do it. But especially with like Souls-like games and From Software and these types of
change the build,
developers, you can change the build. There's always a handful of quest lines you probably didn't do the first run through. It is a different experience. So if it was the exact same experience, I would say that Breath of the Wild and the Zelda games are probably the only ones.
I mean, BG3, Baldur's Gate 3 probably would be worthy of a couple of playthroughs of just a variety
Do
of...
you have the time for it though?
Well, no, I mean, no. There. Like, you know, and the other thing is, it's like, even though you'd play different characters, the story would end up the same journey anyway.
Yeah,
like
but it would be a different way to experience it.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's the age old, you could do a good run, a bad run. How does that change things?
You ever been, and this is probably particularly more centered around movies and TV shows. You ever rewatch a TV show or a movie and for some reason try and convince yourself that what is definitely going to happen isn't going to happen?
No.
Do you ever have that?
No.
Oh, it happens to me all the time. I think maybe that won't happen this time.
Or
I don't know.
Are you thinking like screaming at the TV going like, don't go down
Don't
the
make the same
corridor.
mistake,
Like,
Homer. Come on, man.
He's got to do it anyway.
Anyway, I wondered if maybe you have more control over that when you play games, but probably not.
Anyway.
Don't fucking be an NPC.
Keep leveling up and have a great Christmas, everybody. If we don't talk to you again before then, I think we're doing one more app though, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. We'll probably do. Yeah, I think so. We'll do one or two more.
All right, we'll notch
It's
one
November.
out.
Yeah, and then we'll wrap up for a couple of weeks and let everyone fucking
push one
hoe
out.
it down.
Hoe down.
Hoe it down.
Hoe it down for the Christmas hoe.
Make it snow.
Ooh.
In whatever that means to you, whatever context you want.
Oh, my word. Okay, let's wrap this up real quick.
Thanks for listening.